everyone, it's Olivia here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm finally doing the review for the infamous Holbein Coloured Pencil, and I'm so excited to have these beauties in my collection. They are very popular pencil. Well, at least was a couple years ago they was getting so popular in the coloring community with the 50 pastel set, and I have been eyeing them for a long time, and I finally got them. So I tried them out in my coloring books already, and I got a few things to say about these pencils. So if you are curious about what my opinions are about this one, I hope you keep watching this video. So first thing first, you know me, we gotta swatch some colors because I love to see all the colors lay out on the paper, and also just to feel how the pencil performing on the paper itself. And to be honest, earlier you saw the video of me swatching them on the paper that actually come with the box. Back then when I first swatched them, I was pretty disappointed with the pencil. They felt really scratchy on that paper, and I wasn't sure what the hype was about. But then I decided to sharpen them. I used a T-Gao sharpener. This one is also from Japan because they sharp your pencil to a point, but they don't eat up your pencil, especially if you have like expensive pencil or precious pencil that you wanted to last longer. So I used those one, and after that I swatched them in my sketchbook. This is the same sketchbook that you have seen me swatching my colors, pencil and other art supply from Arrtx and other brands in this sketchbook. I just use this sketchbook for everything. These pencils feel totally different. They feel really smooth. The colors are so vibrant, and honestly I'm so excited to use them in my coloring books. Now the set that I got for myself is the 100 color set. Back then when I first looked into this pencil, I couldn't find this particular set in Australia, so I decided to look up on Amazon Japan, and I found them. One thing I love about these 100 sets is they have a lot of unique shades, but also normal shade, and they included a lot of the pastel colors from the famous 50 sets pastel that you guys was like sharing everywhere. And that's probably one of the reasons why I also got really interested in these pencil. Before that I never really heard about them, except for their acrylic wash, which I know this brand is really famous for. But yeah, the colors are so unique, and there's a bunch of the shades that I have never seen in any other pencil brands, or at least the one that I've owned. So I think Holbein Pencil definitely has some really standout shades and add a lot to the character of the palette. Now, after swatching this pencil in my sketchbook, my opinion or my first impressions about them have changed completely. I fell in love with all the colors and how they felt in my hand and on the paper. So at the end of this, I decided that I do want some extra colors. So I ended up picking up about 20 colors. So you can see all those colors from the first 2 pages at the one that come with the 100 set, and this single side page is all the colors that I got extra. Although I think there were 2 colors that I accidentally got the dupe that I already have in the 100 set, because you can see the rare one from the 100 set, they quite lack the dark color, so I wanted to get some darker color. The same with the green and the blue as well. I needed to get some of the really darker shade. I think in the 100 set they have the lighter color and somewhat middle tone shade, so it's quite important to have some more darker colors in my opinion. And I did this one, the little mushroom in small Victories with the Holbein pencil. I think this was the first thing I ever did, so I really like them. I will colors in another mushroom in this same page later on at the end of this segment, but I wanted to test them out because I was so excited just to use them, so I didn't really test their ability to go on top of other supplies. And if you know me, I love using mixed media, especially water-based product, as base color in my coloring. So I decided to do 3 tests. One is on top of Intense, one on top of acrylic markers, and one on top of Neo Color 2. And if you know me, I love using mixed media in my coloring pages and just doing my own artwork, so I tend to use a lot of water-based mediums underneath for the base of my coloring. So I thought I'd just try these pencils out to see if they work well on top of this one, because there are some pencil they do not work well. Also, this is just a coincidence, but someone in my last video mentioned that I shouldn't use my finger to blend the acrylic because it can cause allergic reaction. So in this sketchbook, I thought, well, I use the brush, then I just used my water brush and they work so well, they blend so beautiful. I was so surprised. So even though if you're not into testing products and just like to jump in and coloring, I would highly recommend just doing simple testing, because sometimes you can pretty much find out more technique with the products that you already have. Anyway, after I finish activate all of these products, I'll just going to let them dry completely. And while we wait for them to dry, let's talk about our sponsor for today, Skillshare. So as many of you know, I have been on a little journey just learning about water-based mediums, especially like watercolor and gouache. So over the past few months, I have been taking a tons of watercolor classes on Skillshare, and I love especially Nian lessons. I think I talked about this in my previous videos as well, but honestly her class really helped me to improve my technique and just give me inspiration on what to do for my watercolors. So if you haven't known, Skillshare is an online learning platform, and they have thousands of inspiring classes for artists and creatives, people like us. Whether you're into painting, illustration, or want to try something totally new, there's always something for you, and it's all ad-free, so you can really concentrate on the classes. And here's the best part: the first 500 people to click the link in my description will get 1 free month of Skillshare. So if you're curious or ready to grow your skills, now is the perfect time to dive in. And thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to the pencils because these inks are dry. Now I'm just adding in the pencils on top of the dry inks, and honestly I feel like they're working so well. I'm just using the similar colors of the inks that I used earlier, because I just wanted to test out how the color layering on top, so I didn't really want to use like a different colors. Plus this is usually the technique that I use when it's come to doing these water base underneath of my pencils anyway. So the ink turns out great. Now let's move on to the acrylic, and I think the acrylic worked really well except for one area where I didn't activate by pick up the ink from the markers, but I used the marker and then I add the water lighter, so I think it's a little bit thick and the Holbein doesn't really hold on to that so well. Honestly, I don't think you can even notice it, so I don't think it's going to be a big issue. But my favorite for these pencil is on top of the Neo 2. You can see here the texture is like have that grainy texture. I know some people like really smooth texture when it comes to pencil, but I just love the charm of the grainy pencils on top when the paper quite texture is remind me of children's storybook. Also, I wanted to show some of you that doesn't like to use white pencil, the soft white pencil in Holbein is honestly so beautiful, because you can see it got on top of that black colors like no problem. So you can use it to cover a little bit of your black line art as well. Now let's move on to the color along. I'm going to color in this mushroom, and the coloring is pretty much just do a lot of light layer, because to me they feel like a mix between the Prismacolor and Polychromo, leaning a bit more with Prisma. They hold a point better than Prisma, so in terms of that they sort of similar to Polychromo, but the way that I use them very similar to Polychromo, even though they feel a bit more like Prismacolors, if that makes sense. So a lot of light layer I felt work really well with this pencil. When I try to smudge them or use a lot of hard pressure, strong pressure, the color glum up together, so I don't think that will work really well. So you gotta have really light hands with the anyway, I will put the colors names on the screen so you can follow. Plus I wanted to guys do a bit of ASMR, just quiet coloring and hearing the pencil sound on the paper. I just love hearing that sound, and I think a lot of you guys would like that too. Just some quiet and peaceful coloring. So I will talk with you guys at the end of this video. Anyway, this is the end of our color along flash review for today. I really love how this little circle mushroom turns out. I think the color is so beautiful and they are layering very well on top of each other. I hope you have fun and I hope you learn something new. Also, before I end the video, I wanted to show you guys a bit of my Patreon members coloring work from our color along together, and I will see you guys in the next video. In the meantime, take care and happy coloring. Bye.